Bitcoin finally breaking out to the upside, or is it just a bull trap? We'll talk about that. Keep watching. Hey everyone, this is Josh, and on behalf of my co-founder, Kenner and Clark, we just want to say welcome to BlockRoots. And as far as that goes, if you've not yet subscribed, just do so below. Click the red button. It's super easy. And every time you leave a comment or engage in the channel, you're actually put in a giveaway drawing. You will be selected as one of the people. You will be in a giveaway selection. Let's just say that. I'm mumbling my words here. And we're actually going to do that today as far as the $100 Bitcoin giveaway to one person who have not only subscribed to the channel, but commented or engaged in the videos. And so on today's video, nothing is financial advice. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, and is this just a, quote, a bull trap? As far as this breakout right here, we'll look at Yearn Finance, we'll look at Link, Uniswap, some of the other altcoins that we talked about earlier a couple of days ago. We'll also look at a couple of farms that I'm yield farming right now in the spirit of Halloween. So what am I looking at? And I think that they're, somewhat safe. All farms have potential to have risk, so just know that before farming, but I'll share you what I'm farming. Some more Shroom news, and then a new protocol that's out that will actually turn Bitcoin into a fork that is Bitcoin, pegged to Bitcoin, but it's on the Ethereum blockchain. But there's some warning signs with that, and I want to talk to you a little bit about all these things today. So let's go ahead and get started. But of course, we all want to talk about Bitcoin as it is finally breaking up to the upside here as we look at the meme triangle, aka compression. We did talk about that a couple days ago that, hey, it was compressing. We're going to see a breakout soon. And of course, many people had their thoughts. A lot of people actually thought that it would break down, again, the quote meme CME futures gap that didn't get fully explored, right? We just explored it. It didn't get fully filled down at 9,600. But again, it's a meme. It doesn't have to be filled. It may never be filled. And it was explored. And with that said, let's just move on. Let's take it level by level, day by day. But if you go look on Twitter right now, it's not even that euphoric. I think people are bullish, which this is actually a good sign for me to want to be bullish, is that there's not pure euphoria. We've seen a nice pullback. We've seen a range, and it's as clear as can be right here. I'll go ahead and get rid of this triangle. But if you see, we had this clear range, right, from highs to lows here. And then there's a breakdown. We couldn't get above the range, broke back down, slowly made our way back up, and now we're back in the range. And that's what we wanted to do the whole time. Typically, this is pretty good confirmation. Whenever you can break out of a range, come back up, and then hold that as support. Of course, this is the daily chart. And then also, too, if you look at the 4-hour chart, you're going to notice, right, Bitcoin's flagging a little bit here. And so we'll see if this does pull back here and retest this area. Of course, typically, I would say this on the 4-hour chart, this zone right here between, 11,100 to 1150 or 150. If I were to draw this out, right, we could potentially see Bitcoin maybe break down here for some shenanigans and then break back up, right? So that's one possibility. I'm not really too worried as long as it can hold this area, specifically 10,900. Again, that was kind of the key area for me to think about where we need to break and hold, and it's done that. And so a lot of people, again, I made this meme, and I said Bitcoin bears right now be like, it's a trap. And so, of course, if you know Star Wars, if you like the old school Star Wars, that's from one of the memes from that, where, of course, with everything that's a trap in the world, you'll typically see this meme pop up. But it did put a bear face there. And so I'm seeing a lot of that right now. But I think Ari Paul had some pretty good words. And he even said earlier this week, like, hey, we could potentially pull back and see 9,200 all the way up to 10,400. And he said, hey, we couldn't even get to 10,400, right? New highs. So breaking these new highs back over 11,000. New highs after explicitly bearish news is a strong indicator of underlying market strength. And so parabolic moves are rare, not predicting one, but this is a common setup for them. Higher odds of a parabolic advance now than any time since March. And you did see that Square and Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, also owner of Square, that they did invest $50 million in Bitcoin. And supposedly now, with the market structure break, if this is clear as can be here, then are we seeing more and more people starting to jump back into Bitcoin during this time? So, again, with some good news out, hopefully with stimulus from President Trump as well, a lot of good things hopefully is going to build up to this. But this is really the clear area, as you see right here. If we can stay above 11,100, especially on the 4-hour and close above that. Even if it pulls back, totally fine, guys. So expect some shenanigans here on the weekends, as always. It's just how it is. And let's go ahead too and talk about some other altcoins. Now, I want to show this again because Phemex is a great place. There were a lot of good tweets out this week about Yearn Finance, specifically about it being an asset that has been so easy to trade. The volatility in it, the price action, well, it's not really super liquid, but it is volatile, right? And there is some good volume that comes into Yearn or YFI. And so if you look at the chart here, right, has some good price action here and there, a nice bounce. But Phemex.com, actually Phemex.trade is actually our link if you want to go ahead and sign up and trade Yearn Finance, if you want to trade Uniswap, if you want to trade many of these assets, right? If you see right here, they are a partner with BlockRoots. Again, with everything with BitMEX, we always want to say, know your legal local laws before you do this. Now, 50% of our audience is around the globe, and you're totally free legally, right, to trade on Phemex. So we encourage you to check it out. Link, Ethereum, Uniswap, YFI, which has been a phenomenal asset to trade. We'd recommend if you're into that, if you're into, this is one of the few places that you can actually trade it with perpetual derivatives here. So, or perp swaps, excuse me. But as far as YFI, right, we talked about this, and we talked about how it was up here in this area, and how I did say if it was going to hit around 12,000, I would definitely be a buyer there. And especially if it broke down here, I would certainly be a buyer down in these areas around, 6,000 or so. But it didn't break there. It actually hit perfectly kind of off this bottom here around 12,000, bounced, and not only bounced, but it broke the previous resistance area. It was support, and it retested that area. That's where I actually bought in. And then it kind of came back up, and then of course, it's pulling back now towards this area. Now, I want to see it hold above 15,775. If it can hold this area right here, then I am hopeful that we will see, hopefully, a continuation, maybe sideways, but again, hopefully back to the upside. But this is typically normal. You see a retest of this. If it does break back down, I would expect continuation to the downside, guys. So again, 15,775, around 16,000. I mean, we're at 16,400 right now, and so we couldn't quite break 20,000, but we'll see. I know one person that has been big on YFI has now deleted his account. A lot of drama around Blue Kirby, who not only was a big component of YFI, but he's a big fan of Andre, and of course you saw the EMN NFT token that was like a scam that came out. He was a big driver behind that, and a lot of people got wrecked in that. And so with that said, and then he also came out with some basically an ICO of NFTs called Off Blue, and I think he raised close to $1 million on that alone. And so again, you can't really, that's illegal, right, depending on where you're at. But he's now deleted his account, and don't know if he kept all the money. I don't know what's going on with Off Blue. And again, you need to do your own research. But hopefully this is a good sign for YFI, that with all this drama surrounding Blue Kirby, that will continue to move on up and bounce from here. So we'll continue to watch that. We do know that Andre is still ahead of that. He said that, even though there's been some false allegations from some media places as far as him no longer being with the project. So now the next thing we're going to look at is Chainlink. Man, Chainlink has looked really good, right? We've seen the previous bounce right here, but from around $7 all the way up to 11, and it did veer back down, but that's because Bitcoin, again, we had some pullbacks there. But now with Bitcoin going up, now with Chainlink coming up here, and again, it's making a nice compression right here, right? And it is holding above $10.40. I want to see this area hold. If this area can hold, I believe that it'll break back above this, $10.70, $10.73, make its way up to $11. And I think after we can break above this area of $11, it can continue on up as well. So again, if you're looking to make a trade, check out Phemex if you're looking to do some perp swaps and go long on that. Again, if it breaks below this, I would expect it to break back down to this area around $9.60. But again, volatility is here, so be careful if you are trading these. But Chainlink looks really good, and I would expect it to continue to go on up to the upside. Congratulations to anybody who got in this area. And I do believe that we see Chainlink hit new highs again in the next 6 months. So me personally, I still think it's a good buy, even if it's $10, and as long as Bitcoin stays up. Now, Uniswap, we did talk about Uniswap or UNI the last couple of days, and again, it was down here in this accumulation phase, and it started to break up. And I did talk about in the last video, if we can break and hold $3, then it's going to continue to go on up, and that it has done that, right? We've seen it move on up. It hit up to about 330, and again veered up again. 360 has since pulled back, but it's been a pretty clear trend right here. I do like that it is staying above this low around 319, 318, 320. And so as long as it can stay above this area, I'm going to just go ahead and just pull this line up here, right? As long as it can stay above this area, I think that it's fine, okay? Specifically on the 4 hour, if we look at that, yeah, I would even pull it up here. On the 4 hour, I do want it to stay above, 325-ish. So it's not too far away from that, but if it can hold above this, maybe wick down, but close above that, every 4 hour candle, we do want to see that. I do believe that we could definitely have a nice continuation to the upside here, because Uniswap is one of those that it really makes sense in the long term to hold. I know a lot of people are bearish on Uniswap and then Sushi. I was even a proponent of Sushi just for the fact that you can earn passive income with the fees, and you still can. And just so know that if these are the bottoms for whether it's Sushi or Uniswap, long term, these could be really good buys as they go up in price, and then you can earn fees from that, from staking or being a uni holder, because there are $1 billion of volume on these exchanges. So just know that as far as these two assets. And the only other asset I want to talk about as far as a buy would probably be Airswap. This has been around for a long time, guys. So AST, which has a connection with metamask. Now, metamask, of course, is a protocol where you can use Ethereum and buy and sell and use it as a wallet on many exchanges, including Uniswap and SushiSwap. So again, metamask is a big deal. It has a ton of users, has a lot of people who use it. It's well adopted. And so they're thinking about, I believe, making also or linking with a decentralized exchange. And they've even said potentially that Airswap would be the protocol that they use on that DEX. And so that would be a big deal, because I do believe that a lot of people would use it. I believe that Airswap would have a lot of use, and I do see the price continuing to go up. You see right here that it's at a daily resistance, right? It did pop over it, but again, we need to get some more volume. We need to get some more momentum, break above 15 cents here. If we can break above 15 cents USD, I do believe that we continue to see on up. And if you go to the weekly chart, I'm telling you right now, this high was around $2 or so, but I do believe that if it is a protocol used with MetaMask, then we'll see all-time highs for this, and it's only 15 cents right now. And you see basically, we could see another 10x from here in the coming months. So we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. They're both owned by Consensus, so again, looking forward to that. Now, in the spirit of Halloween, I just want to say that I am farming a couple of different assets. One is called Dracula, and the other is called Vampire. And so as far as Dracula, a really neat website overall. It's Dracula.sucks, okay? And so I did see this. I did review it. They do have a 24-hour time lock to protect users. So again, with all farms, you need to be very careful. There are risks. There are bugs. And if you do farm it, you can lose money. But when it comes with farming, again, you can actually go here and you can look at the list after you connect your wallet, and you're going to notice that you don't even have to buy the native token DRC. You can farm this and earn DRC by providing liquidity with USDC and ETH, or DAI and ETH, or Tether and ETH. And so again, the API is around 400%. If you go to Sushi, that's on Uniswap. You can also provide liquidity on SushiSwap, Pickle, LaoSwap, or YFV, and you're going to see that these are anywhere between 300 to 700% API or APY. And with that said, it's a pretty neat concept where they actually do take the rewards from the liquidity providers. They burn, or they buy back the Dracula token, and then they burn it. And so it does have deflationary properties. If you go ahead and look at the chart right here, you're going to notice that it's been stable. This is very attractive. Typically what happens is probably like on the left-hand side here, where you see a farm that just goes down in price, and just dies and never recovers. Now, what you've seen here is that prices went as low as 20 cents, but has basically stayed stable between 40 cents to 60 to 70 cents. Okay, so again, I do believe Dracula has I think over $20 million now total value locked into that. So again, Dracula, check it out. Pretty neat concept. Deflationary is maintaining the price. And another one too that I've actually started to talk to their community today. They reached out to me because there was a scammer actually being an imposter of me in there. I have no clue why. I think maybe he wanted some money from them. But you always have to be careful, right, with imposters out there. But this is Vampire. And of course, Vampire started off, had a pre-sale at 10 cents. And then now prices, I think, of around 6 cents right now. So you're looking at a 40% discount. Yeah, 0.056. And so we did see it go as low as like 3 cents. And then now we've seen another uptrend. So a lot more people are starting to jump back into Vampire now. And you, again, just like Dracula, you don't need the native token. So typically, if you farm with the native token, if the price goes down, then you end up losing Ethereum. You end up losing money, right? But what you can do is just stake, WBTC, Tether, Uniswap, wrapped Ethereum. And again, as always, there's always risk to all of these, but you can wrap that. Wrap your Ethereum, and stake it, and then you can end up earning back the Vampire token, okay? And so, again, API around these around a couple 100%. Of course, the Vampire is a little bit more, but I did talk to the team. There is liquidity locked. What they show, they'll show you all of these things if you go into their Telegram community and talk to them a little bit more. But in the spirit of Halloween, these are relatively safe that I've seen. Again, if something happens, not my fault, but I'm just telling you what I'm farming right now, and I'm trying to be safe with it. So there you go. Do your own research, but I haven't seen any red flags with these yet. A couple more things really fast. Shroom has shown a preview of their GameSwap DEX. This is kind of some visuals here, and they're going to launch a walkthrough of this article this weekend. So I do expect Shroom to continue to trend up. I think it's over 20 cents right now. Phenomenal. This is super attractive as they look to trade, mint, and cash out in-game assets, and not only linked to blockchain games, but also linked to just normal everyday games. And so really bullish on Shroom long term. Now, before we talk about the new Bitcoin Ethereum protocol, let's go ahead and give away $100 of Bitcoin. And that winner of $100 of Bitcoin this week is... that would be Mr. Keg 830, BlockRoots FTW. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Keg, regardless of your comment, you didn't leave your Bitcoin address. That's totally fine. You're still the winner because I picked your comment. So just know that. I'll go ahead and actually I'll respond to this, and I want you to be able to leave a Bitcoin address so that I can send that $100 to you. And again, if you're interested in winning $100 of Bitcoin, make sure to engage or comment on this video and any other video we put out this week, because you will be put in a random drawing for $100 of Bitcoin. And so congratulations, Mr. Keg. Now we're starting to get up here in time. I know that I don't want to get this video too long, but I do want to talk to you about Strudel Finance. Now, Strudel Finance is basically a new protocol that turns your BTC into the BTC, and what they're looking to do is become the first one-way trustless bridge linking Bitcoin into Ethereum, okay? And if I go ahead and look at this and talk to you guys about this, really what's going on is normal Bitcoin, you can't do a lot with it, specifically, with DeFi, okay? So they've got wrapped BTC. So wrapped BTC, WBTC, you can actually turn Bitcoin or Ethereum into WBTC, and then you can actually go back to two-way bridge. You can actually get your Bitcoin back, right? With a one-way bridge, supposedly, as you use this and turn your Bitcoin into the VBTC, you can't get it back. Your Bitcoin's burned forever. And so supposedly that's the case. And I'd be very interested, because if a lot of people do this, it means there's going to be Bitcoin gone forever. And so I don't know the exact details of it, but I just know that if you're tempted to use this protocol, you will not get your Bitcoin back, okay? It is a pegged asset that's pegged to Bitcoin, and so VBTC will supposedly be pegged that. The developers supposedly are docs, they're real people, and so is this a scam? At first look, there's a lot of detail and information on this, and I don't think that it is. I would like to kind of read up a little bit more on it overall, but you can also farm this as well. So I'm looking into that. And as far as this goes, just know that this is Strudel Finance. And again, you can only enter Strudel from one direction. Be aware, this action is irreversible. So if you are an Ethereum buff and you really like Ethereum, and there are people out there who do and don't really care about BTC, and they feel like BTC is an old asset that you can't use, which I disagree with that. I think Bitcoin will always have value. You can turn your BTC into VBTC and supposedly be able to do a lot of stuff with DeFi, okay? And that's including, lending, options, and all kinds of other things, right? So with that said, just know that Strudel Finance, you may hear more about this. Right now, the token is currently around $3.20. Not VBTC, but the Strudel Finance token that goes along with it that you earn as you turn BTC into VBTC. So again, warning sign, don't lose your Bitcoin. I think that it is valuable, but this supposedly is a trusted bridge if you are an Ethereum buff. If you really like Ethereum and you want to look more into that, and you have some extra Bitcoin that you want to turn into VBTC and use it to DeFi, by all means, go ahead and do it. But I just a warning that you won't get your Bitcoin back if you use this protocol. Hey, with that said, I am Josh, and as always, thanks for watching. We're going to continue to watch Bitcoin here. Can it hold this 11,100 area, or will it break down from there? A bull trap? I don't think that it is. I want to see Bitcoin continue on up and break back above, 12,000 eventually would be the key for me. So if we can see that, that would be definitely a bullish scenario for Bitcoin. I do believe that we see some volatility in the next 24 hours before weekly close. With that said, I hope you guys have a great start to your week or end of your week. Trade safe and effectively, and we'll talk to you soon.